it's Michelle Gilmore and I'm with MG Draw Your Portrait from a Photo. Okay, I am showing you my graphite pencil portrait of my siblings, and I picked Stacy to show you a little bit of drawing and tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. So I'm primarily picking back up. I am, after I have, talked about previously putting in the lines and, putting a few amounts of shading and starting off with Color Ease pencil. I primarily put in the pencil with the 4 HB, with the HB, and I'm primarily kind of like covering the whole entire portrait, this particular grade of pencil, and I'm kind of using a smudge technique, okay, and this will give me the shading. Now some people use graphite powder, but it's kind of, expensive, kind of more messy. So I kind of like just use the pencil. It saves money. And so it works just as well. But the powder will probably put a lot, it wouldn't go darker and all that. But you could do it with the pencil too. It's just easier. Another tool to use. This is going to give an even tone over the whole entire portrait, and this is called like a smudge technique. Okay, so I primarily look at the picture, but basically it's just to get the color down of the skin and everything. I won't put it on the little parts of the clothing. Now, I go toward like pressure points, whether it's, a person is, darker or lighter, so I don't have to put, too much and then go back into it. Okay, so that should be enough to kind of do what I'm trying to do. Okay. And then I get a piece of, now, I can use, any type of smoothing, but I chose to use, smooth tissue paper, not paper towels unless I wanted some type of texture. So I try to get like Kleenex or tissue, like tissue paper, bathroom tissue. And, so then I just kind of do this. You see, let's go over the whole entire portrait. And, get an even tone. Now, so Stacy is kind of light, so I'm kind of putting in. Even put it up in the hair sometimes and smooth it all out. And don't forget the ear. Okay, so you notice that has made it, quite, dark. Okay. This is kind of like a smudge technique, it's called. And then, after I get the graphite, I'm going to have to go back in to define the features again. And so, for instance, so I might go back up to, I might start back off with the HB. Okay, and just put in more define. probably say this is starting back all over, but I had to do that so I can get everything to come together. She would be considered, you know, light tone, so I had to put that even tone down there. And then what I'm going to do is, once I get some of these, you know, eyebrows in here, you see I'm building up the gradual tone of the shading. Now that I have, you know, her color down with the smudge technique, I will go back in and define her skin tone by using different grades of the strap. So after I've laid in the graphite shade tone by the smudge technique, I was going back over and putting in the darker tones and definition into the shading part. I'm going to move over to my darkest Mars Black. So I'm going to go into the eye and with the darker Mars 6B. I'm also going to move over to the 6B and put in a darker shading. Now the 6B pencil is softer, so I can get more, you know, shading and blending. And when you do this smudge technique, you kind of use your eraser, which is a kneaded eraser. This is a kneaded eraser, and it's putty, and you clean it like that. Okay, these can get quite dirty. See how dirty that is? And you see how that little piece of mechanical pencil, when you get that little, you can throw it away. I try to get down to the really nib of the mechanical pencil. They kind of like, you can't sharpen it when it gets that little, so kind of let it go. But you see the difference when it gets this time to throw this away. But this is and this is where you come in and you use this as a tool too. So once I put the shading down, I'll show you what I mean. Sometimes I also use a Q-tip. These Mars Black don't blend very easily because they're very dark pencil. So they don't blend like these Straddlers 100. So if you're using this Mars Black, you can get very dark with this, but it's made out of different material than these. So that's what makes it be able to be very dark and very good to get, you know, darkness in your drawings. Depending on how dark the person was, I would have put more of the tone down, but Stacy's lighter, so we don't need as much. It's a gradual buildup of different shading.